I've got a story. I grew up not on the Qualla boundary in Cherokee, but my grandparents did. My dad was born there, so I spent a lot of time there growing up.
You know, the number one thing I think a community needs to have is a good economy where people can make a living. And so we're glad to get that back. And then we've been able to, along the way, our downtown has made a comeback. And things have worked out really nicely. And we've been named one of the best small towns in South Carolina. We're really proud of that.
Today we're going to start a lesson on watercolor landscape. And it starts off with a technique called wet on wet.
Like, it brings me back to my roots, to like still value them, even though like I'm here and like America's traditions are like super important too. But I feel like it's also super important to still honor where I come from.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
In every sunrise and every story passed down, there are lessons of resilience, wisdom, and connection. This November, we honor the voices of Native people whose traditions, art, and spirit continue to shape the heart of this land. Native American Heritage Month is more than a celebration. It's a reminder to listen, to learn, and to carry these stories forward. This is a journey through heritage, identity, and the living heartbeat of a culture that endures today. Here at Newberry College, in celebration of Indigenous culture, we begin this week with a presentation from Dr. Stephen Lambert on Native Americans in South Carolina.
Cherokee were in the upstate and probably extended down into Newberry, where we're at right now. A lot of these names that the coastal tribes, you'll recognize those names.
It's an opportunity to hear his story and to learn more about the rich history, traditions, and lasting influence of Native people in our community.
I was fortunate enough to serve on the Native American Heritage Month Committee here at Newberry. Peggy Winder and Althea Gibson handle the diversity here at Newberry, and I was excited to be able to participate in that. I've got a story. I grew up not on the Qualla boundary in Cherokee, but my grandparents did. My dad was born there, so I spent a lot of time there growing up, and I was excited to tell my family story. Right now, my tribe in the Eastern Band Cherokee, we have 16,000 enrolled members. There's less than 200 fluent speakers left. It's very important to protect that language. Our tribe's doing everything that it can to protect that language, starting with training kids from ages 3 up, teaching school exclusively in Cherokee for the first several grades. That's one way to protect it. I don't speak the language. I know a few phrases here and there, but my grandparents, my grandfather particularly, was fluent, understood the language, and had it whipped out of him when he was in Indian boarding school in Cherokee. And that was one way to take their Indianness away from them. It's important that we maintain that. Recognize that they exist, that they have the right to potentially be different than us, approach things different, understand the world in a different way. It's not right or wrong, but they're going to look at things differently than other populations, and we need to appreciate that, celebrate it, and understand it.
We continue the week with Native American Movie Night, where students, faculty, friends, and family gather together in Kaufman Hall to watch the film Smoke Signals. At the event, popcorn, candy, and drinks were provided. creating an atmosphere of connection and reflection. And following the screening, Professor Melissa Shepard facilitated a brief discussion, giving everyone the chance to share their thoughts and reflect on the powerful messages within the story.
I really enjoyed Smoke Signals. That's one of my favorite all-time movies. I love the characters, I love the humor. One of the things that stands out to me was the storytelling aspect of Thomas Builds the Fire.
I thought it was just really, really good. You know, I think it's a really powerful movie about how storytelling can change the way that you see events, the way that you can see people. The way we saw different perspectives about the main character's dad, I think really kind of demonstrated that how no one quite had the same reaction, and you were never 100% sure which story was the correct one. But in the end, that didn't really matter because their perception was what mattered.
As we continue celebrating Native American Heritage Month, there's still so much more to experience and learn. Stay connected with Newberry College upcoming events and cultural activities throughout November, honoring Native voices, sharing stories, and celebrating the traditions that continue to shape our community.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
South Carolina Midlands have seen a great deal of growth in recent years, and both the Newberry County and the city of Newberry have been no exception. The challenge for Newberry has been to grow its economic base while keeping its reputation as a charming and historic town. Here to talk about Newberry's opportunities is Foster Senn, who has been a mayor since 2010. Mayor Senn, thank you for joining us.
Honored to be here, Victor.
How are you today?
Good, thanks for having me.
So, for the first question for you, in your first 15 years of office, what do you believe has been the biggest economic challenge or achievement?
Well, Newberry was an old textile community, and that worked great for a long time. And then, as you know, all the textile mills closed. So Newberry had to rebound from that and really started that effectively in the late 90s with opening the Opera House and then getting new jobs such as Komatsu, and then other manufacturers came later, including Samsung. So we're able to rebuild our manufacturing base, and we've been able to capitalize that. That helps the whole economy. You know, the number one thing I think a community needs to have is a good economy where people can make a living. And so we're glad to get that back. And then we've been able to, along the way, our downtown has made a comeback, and things have worked out really nicely. And we've been named one of the best small towns in South Carolina. We're really proud of that. And Newberry College is a large part of that as well.
Okay. What do we have on the horizon? I've heard a bit about an amphitheater, a skate park. What's upcoming?
Well, we are this Sunday, November 16th, we have the grand opening for our skate park. It's at the Newberry Recreation Complex. We hope that the community, including Newberry College skateboarders, will want to come. It's hosted by a Columbia skateboard shop called Blue Tile. And there'll be demonstrations and contests. And so we encourage folks to use our parks, including college students. We're getting an amphitheater. That is going out for bid now. It will hopefully start construction, let's say, in the spring. And that will be downtown behind the post office and hold about 1,000 people. And again, we hope to have, well, we will have outdoor concerts there. Perhaps Newberry College will want to use it for some of its events as well. So we're always trying to work on quality of life issues, and parks and fun or something we try to focus on, and it's worked out nicely, and we think it's made our community better.
Okay. What's something that you've been wanting to accomplish with Newberry that you haven't been able to quite achieve yet?
Oh, I think most of the people watching would say a grocery store. Newberry has 2 grocery stores. We'd all like a new grocery store. And a lot of the small town grocery stores, Victor, went out of business, like a Winn-Dixie and Bi-Lo, people might be familiar with. And so there's not been that in the market. We've talked to some of the others, the big ones you've heard of, and we'd all like to come. But right now, we haven't been able to get one to come to Newberry. We'll still keep working. As people build new houses, that's going to increase our chances of getting a new grocery store. But we'll stay at it. We do have some other development coming. Dutch Bros Coffee, which is, I believe, from the West Coast. And Victor, you have some familiarity with that, you're telling me.
Oh yes, it's quite an amazing coffee store.
Well, and so we're excited about that. They're going to be in front of Lowe's, and they should start construction in the first part of the year. You know, ideally they'd be done before next semester ends in the spring, but we're excited about that. A chain called Biscuitville is coming across from Lowe's. They have biscuits, and so they're out of North Carolina. We're excited about that. So we have a recruiter that continues to try to bring new things. We seem to get something, 1 or 2 new things every year, and people enjoy that and adds to our quality of life. But those are the next 2 coming, are Dutch Bros and Biscuitville.
Okay. With these new chains coming in, how do you balance the need for growth while keeping Newberry still a charming, historic little town? Well,
I think you make a great point. You know, our foundation is small business, and that's something we always want to support and make sure that people are aware of them and support them. As we growth, we have zoning and things like that to try to keep it like in that Wilson Road area, so it's still in the right place and not intruding on residential areas. And so zoning is a key part of that, and I think will keep us in line for the future.
Okay. Shifting gears a little bit to you personally, why did you want to become mayor? What do you enjoy about the job?
Even as a young person, Victor, like you, I was always involved in extracurriculars and enjoyed that, Boy Scouts, for example. And so it was encouraged by my parents. As an adult, I continued to be involved in different things. Had an interest in politics all the way through. So when a seat for city council came open, I ran. And then the mayor, Mayor Kaiser, he was outstanding. He retired, and there was an opening. I ran and got it, and have enjoyed it. And it's I like to see projects come together. I like to see progress and be a part of the team. And I try to focus on bringing people together. And I think I have something to offer, and I've enjoyed doing it. And as a team, we've been able to make Newberry better.
Okay. And one of the last questions I have for you then is, what is your favorite thing about Newberry?
I would just say it's a friendly people, Victor. You and I were talking earlier, and you found it to be a nice, quaint place. I think it's a welcoming place. Whenever I come to Newberry College, I always find it to be a welcoming place, the students here. And I think it's just an atmosphere. I love y'all's new signs, "You belong here." I think that's is a nice slogan for our town, too, that we're welcoming. I'm from here, graduated from Newberry High School, but I think it's, I see it for anyone coming new. I hope that they feel welcome, and that's just part of our philosophy here, and that's my favorite part.
Absolutely. Well, I know I always feel welcome in town. Well then, Mayor Foster Senn of Newberry, thank you very much for coming in. Close-Up will continue in a moment.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You're watching NCTV Newberry.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Huwa, and I'm an adjunct professor in the art division down in the basement of the math science department. Today we're going to start a lesson on watercolor landscape, and it starts off with a technique called wet on wet. And so what you do is you go ahead and get a sponge and you wet the entire paper. You make sure there's no puddles, but that is definitely wet. And then you're ready to go. So the first thing we do is we're going to work with the sky. And I always try not to take a color that's directly out of there. So we use the top of the tray to mix. And I'll put a little bit of green into that blue and then more water to kind of make a nice blue sky. So what we're going to do is we're going to test it a little bit. Yep, I like that. And so then we go ahead and we spread the water colored paint all across the top. Probably should be using a bigger brush for this, but that's okay, it's going to work. And you dip water in there and you spread it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to stop wherever you're done with your sky. And there's two techniques to do clouds. One is you just drop water onto it and the water itself will just spread. And then the second technique right here, we're going to put the water on it, but then we're going to take Kleenex and we're going to dab it off, and then that will make some clouds as well. Okay, so that we get a nice cloudy sky. And then what we're going to do is switch brushes here, and we are going to put in the ground. So we'll use that bigger brush here. And we'll do basically the same thing to get rid of the white of the paper. And then later on, we'll go ahead and create mountains and trees. So you want to get a nice light coating of paint onto the paper. And then from there on, so now I have it all covered. And then I can kind of start playing with some mountain areas to where I might want to put some mountains in there. So notice that the water is still going to spread it, and that's okay for this time period. And it's just until it's dry that we end up putting the wet on wet. So we're going to put some distant kind of greenery down in there, but once again, it's all going to spread until you're ready to do other things with it, which is like put grasses in it very quickly. Okay. And so then this is all just the basis for coming in next week and doing dry on dry work, and that's when you would get this. So this is a combination of wet on wet and dry on dry. Thank you very much.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
School, it feels like everyone's staring at me and I'm just kind of not really a person.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
And I'll try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Christmas is a time to have fun, to enjoy the time with the people that you love.
We all get together, we open presents with my family. I don't really spend Christmas with my friends, it's more afterwards, but yeah, with family together.
So Christmas for me is one of the best times of the year because I always get to see my whole family, basically my whole family. We get together, we share like great memories and moments together, so I feel like that's my favorite thing.
For me, it's building or choosing the Christmas tree. I do it with my mom, and we just go to a. It's like a market where you can buy all the Christmas trees, or you can chop them themselves in the woods. So yeah, that's what we do. To me, Christmas is a time to spend with family and people who love, to spend good time, eating good food and enjoying the time with the ones that you love.
I think, for example, for me, Christmas is a lot of like a family time, and I know that here a lot of people, like for example, for New Year's, they spend New Year's with their friends instead of family.
I love being home for Christmas with my family. I think our traditions are kind of similar to here, but like on Boxing Day, for example, we go to the races. On Christmas Day, we have a big meal, and yeah, spend time with family.
So we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, like the whole day. Like families will usually go into like Prague and walk like downtown to like different historic sites. And throughout the whole day, you're not supposed to eat anything until like the Christmas Day like dinner, because like if you don't eat anything, you will see the golden guinea pig or like the golden pig in the evening. I don't know what it really is, but it's this tradition mostly for like little kids that like throughout the whole day, like if like the essential is that like you get so hungry that you're going to see the golden pig. But yeah, it's just like a made up fake tradition, and it's supposed to be like a golden pig.
In Spain, we normally meet on the 25th of December. We all eat food together. It's a day where normally you see people that you don't see during the whole year, and we just meet and have a good time and good food.
I think like being on an international team, we all kind of have different ways of doing Christmas, so it's quite interesting to see like people from Spain don't necessarily celebrate it on Christmas Day, they do other stuff afterwards, so yeah.
It's instead of Santa Claus, Santa Claus, we do the Three Wise Men. That is like a Catholic thing, and we just give presents to each other, or like the Three Wise Men are the ones that like give presents to the kids. But it's like really meaningful for my family, and it's January 6th.
One that is called Heritage Day, and that's where we have 11 cultures in South Africa, where every culture basically celebrates their heritage or their culture in South Africa. They wear their cultural clothes, they'll be with their culture in that specific time, they'll cook cultural food or like traditional food from their different cultures, and everyone is just having a good time.
And what we also do is on Christmas, we open like the presents, not in the morning, we open it on the same day, yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about this tradition to like other people, and a lot of people, they don't know what it is, but I think like really cool, because I thought that everybody like did it, because everybody in Spain does it. So it's just like really cool to see the cultural differences.
I would say they're very much similar in terms of, you know, being with your family, being with your loved ones, or like celebrating that whatever specific holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas with your family. It's the same in South Africa.
I know for Christmas we do like dinners and stuff and stay together until midnight, right? And then all of the youngsters, they just open their gifts and stuff, and we do some fireworks too, just, you know, celebrating Christmas. On New Year's, everyone starts the dinner at midnight, right? So we can all receive the New Year's like in family. We also do fireworks, and we have this tradition that we stay up until the sun comes out. So we truly just receive the whole New Year together in family.
I think that it's mainly like all the things that you can learn from different countries. Like I don't do Santa Claus back home, but it's really cool like being here and being able to do it. Or like Thanksgiving, we don't celebrate it in Spain, but it's like really cool to be able to have a day to like give thanks for all the things that you have. Like I think that it also makes you like grow as a person, not only like the campus, but like we all get together more. So I think it's just like really cool to like learn so much about other cultures.
The biggest difference since I came to college is how much I value the time that I spend with my family. Since I've spent so much time away from everyone and my culture for so long, whenever I go back home, I value those moments a lot more.
Really getting to know the meaning of being with family once you're not with them. Like in college, you spend a lot of time by yourself pretty much. And friends from college are not going to be the same friends, or they're not going to feel like the same friends that you grew up with. And family-wise, you are 3-4 months away from family, and you don't get to know them or talk to them unless it's like a phone call, right? So usually, the true meaning of spending time with family and be happy with your family once you get to be with them, because you never know when they're gonna be gone.
Be thankful with like all the things that you have for like with your family, because you have like you don't know what you have till you lose it, kind of. So like, for example, now that I'm far away from home, like I realize how much like my family, everything that they do for me, and like how it changes when you don't see them daily anymore. So just like realize what you have, pretty much.
Like it brings me back to my roots to like still value them, even though like I'm here and like America's traditions are like super important too. But I feel like it's also super important to still honor where I come from.
Heritage Day, like I was saying, that's something like I would like to say, something that I would share with everyone. It's where, since there's many cultures or many heritages, everyone celebrates. It's a time that everyone gets to remember their heritage, because I feel like with time it gets lost. People are not so traditional anymore, moving to the modern world, but it's a time for everyone to remember where your roots come from, what your culture is, and yeah, that's what I'd like to share.
I think it's important to keep on celebrating your home traditions and to keep on holding to that, because I feel like in today's quick-paced world, it is so easy to lose your values and your traditions. So just like maybe sticking to like what you know and what you've grown up in.
NCTV Newberry.